Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. We're continuing our FFPC best ball ADP info that I got yesterday. This is the 25th of May. Team by team, you've got to understand the team dynamic. Right now, you don't see that. There's some type of speculation out there on Twitter. It's May, folks. Come on. People don't know what they think they know. Okay, so right now we're just taking it in a very systematic way. When I do best ball, I at least like to have a flavor of what the public is thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It's just that is reference class forecasting. That is that foundation that allows us to go forward and consider things. So again, to recap, I took the ADP, converted it to positional values from 100, the best, to 0, basically the worst. And you can kind of 90% or better is really good, 80% not bad, 70% okay, 60%, 50% you're about average there, getting kind of weak at that point. So anyway, you can look at those numbers and tell. So I'm going to just kind of skip through team by team. Let's start with Arizona. Quarterback looks like Kyler Murray. He's a 66. He's a Again, I'm taking the view of the public. Okay? This is not my opinion. This is what the public is saying. The public is saying 66. Okay? He's not somebody I'd want as my QB1. That's what the public is saying. Connor, he looks like a solid 2-3 type, 80. A little low on the 80, but he's out there. And public thinks his handcuff is Ingram. So if you're into handcuffs, there you go. That the public is pretty much saying what they're thinking. If you think Clement or some of the other ones should be the handcuff, there you go. They're probably free. Interesting about Arizona, they love their tight end to use, but this year they are rating McBride and Ertz almost the same. One's a 50, one's a 40. That's a right? Ertz is pretty much free in your last round of a 20 best ball. I think he's a good third tight end. I don't know enough about Trey McBride. I think people are... So this is my opinion now. When I say I think, the public is saying they can't tell much difference. To me, I would flip the rankings, Ertz over McBride, just because Ertz to me is more of a knowable thing, and he's definitely worth a 3 tight end here. Wide receivers, Hopkins, been a lot of trade rumors and things that never sets well with me. He's an 85. That's a WR2 type. At least that's what the public is saying. Marquise Brown is a W3. Rondale Moore is probably a 4-5 type. And then Dortch is 0.7. I will say this about Dortch. He really came on when there were injuries. So if you remember that last year, he might be a free stab late in the round if something, were to happen to Hopkins or Brown or whatever. He might earn you a week or two of good value. So that's how they're seeing. It's not anything that says, wow, this team is going to be a powerhouse here. The public is not really telling you that. The public is saying they're going to be running and they're going to be passing, and they don't know what to do with the tight end. So they see a weakness in the tight end. I think it's worth a tight end 3 shot. Hopkins, I don't know with all the trade rumors and everything. And Murray was in and out injured. I never thought their chemistry was super high. So, it's okay. But I'm not, reaching for any of these players in Arizona. Nobody I'm drafting ahead of their ADP, their value for sure. Atlanta, Ritter and Heineke is the backup. Ritter is below average, so he's a strong gamble. He was doing a lot of running, short passing. I don't know what you're getting there. I'm underwhelmed. The public is as well. Public loves Bijan Robinson at 99. They think he could be one of the best. I like Algier at 61 as a great handcuff, and Patterson. Both of those are deep, to me, RB 4, 5, 6 types that I'll take. I don't know about Robinson. I don't know if he's worth the play, okay? Especially right in May. I think the public probably is overvalue him. I don't know he's a 99. Okay, so they're thinking Atlanta's going to be doing a lot of running. Okay, well, is he a 3-down back? I doubt it. Okay, Pitts, they think somehow he's coming back with a sad quarterback, 89. Boy, to me, that continues to be a gamble. Jonnu Smith is there for injury, so that might be, if you have Pitts, I guess you might want Jonnu way last shot out the draft, but I'm not sure I'm investing heavily in Pitts. Last year was underwhelming. Drake London and who else, right? The public says Hollins maybe, and then there's a whole hee-haw gang there, and the public can't figure it out, and I sure don't want to figure it out. London should get the majority, but he's going to get all the attention, so maybe Hollins is a good WR6, 7. I guess in best ball, if you can't find anything else at that time, 18th round or something, he might be a grab. Look, I'm a pessimist by nature, so I think the public's overshooting Robinson and Pitts. London, I'm not great on, but I could see that. Ritter, I'm not drafting. And that's my opinion. Lamar Jackson, 94. They're saying he's one of the top QB1s. Boy, he is just, it's the old box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to bite into there. J.K. Dobbins and Edwards. Dobbins is the one. Edwards is RB3 type. Edwards is probably a 0 RB 4-5 type, just if Dobbins comes down. Dobbins, 87 is probably okay. I'm not enamored with him, not jumping ahead of his ADP. Andrews, they're saying everybody's all about him. I have drafted him already in best ball. I like likely to come back as your 3 tight end. Just, you never know with injuries there if I'm doing a best ball. So the confusion to me is we've got a bunch of WR3 types and the public can't pick them. Flowers, Bateman, and Beckham. And to me, Isabella, Duvernay, Thomas, I got a separated shoulder. It's just, who knows who's going to be there. But public saying they can't figure it out. Public saying they're not enamored. Nobody's above a 70, which is probably a WR3 type. So they're saying you got a bunch of 4s. So is Jackson going to be running? Is he going to be passing to Gus Edwards and Dobbins? That may be, or Andrews. Is it a Kansas City, kind of a poor man's Kansas City? relying on Andrews. That's all good till Andrews get hurt. Then what's their game plan? So, probably Andrews is my first choice. Dobbins, okay. I'm not reaching ahead. Edwards does intrigue me just, and Hill maybe the last one off the wagon. I'm probably not investing in any of the wide receivers in Baltimore. Buffalo, everybody likes Allen. I've drafted Allen. I'm all in. He can run. He can pass. Harris and Cook, they're saying it's a 1A, 1B type, but fortunately those are getting close to RB3 type rankings. The public is saying, yeah, they see them, but they're not thinking they're going to have a big season. I think draft them as a 1 or each as the 3. I would probably draft Harris if he's cheaper than Cook. I guess that's how you do it. If they're both about the same, draft the cheap one. So there you go. Kincaid, they think he's going to be a tight end 1. I'm thinking a 2. Knox is a good streamer type. He can have a game. And I'm not throwing him out the door. He could be a TE3. Kincaid, he's a rookie. Tight end 2 type. I'm not hunting those guys in tight end. Diggs should be the alpha. Davis is there as well. And then you've got 3 more that people are, the public is saying maybe has a shot there. Gabe Davis is probably a WR4. Diggs is a 1. So it looks like the Allen Diggs show, and a little bit of running from Cooks and Harris. That's how it sees. So maybe Davis is the play, WR3, 4 type. Maybe that's the secret play there. I'll take Diggs, but I'm not going to overreach for Diggs. Allen, look, if Holmes is gone and you want one of the top 3, I believe that's how the pattern's going, the top 3 there, right? Hurts, Allen, and Mahomes. If you've got to have an elite, which I can understand that, and that certainly was in play last year, I could see you reaching for him in the second round of your draft, and that's fine. I could go that, or, try to wait. Maybe you can grab, him in the 3rd, but I doubt it. I think in a premium league, I think you're going to have to reach for him and make Holmes. So I would, I think the pattern's saying WR or RB, probably tight end and quarterback right there at that 3rd round. And I don't know if you can grab 3rd and 4th, because you're kind of, I think you can pick up some really nice wide receivers in that 4th round. So you need to decide your pattern of how you're going to play these quarterbacks and like tight ends here. Let's see, what's 13 minutes? Okay, so Carolina, Bryce Young, it's like Ritter. It's like, yeah, you could draft him. Dalton, I could see him if there's an injury coming into play. He'll be a QB2 type if he plays a lot. Sanders, they're really liking Sanders, but again, Hubbard, he's a good backup, good handcuff. He's worth your deep play. An RB 5-6 type seems very logical and somebody I would definitely not turn my nose up at. Sanders, I don't know. I guess he's going to get a lot of attention if Bryce Young struggles. So maybe he's worth his WR2 status. That's fine. Hayden Hurst at 50. He's a definite tight end 2 type. I wouldn't reach for him, but if he dropped in my lap as a tight end 2, I'm not, just going crazy over. It's amazing to me that Thielen, Mingo, and Shark are basically WR4 types as well. I think Thielen has shown he can get streaky. Don't know a lot about Mingo. Shark, he gets streaky as well. So we got some streaky WR4s here. And unknown Mingo, I just don't know coming out the gate, can he pass those guys? Looks like Carolina's going to be relying on Sanders, and that probably works until Sanders gets hurt. Then what you going to do? You know, what you going to do? Probably taking Thielen, probably too early as a WR3 type, and that's probably overreach, 3-4, probably. He's probably more of a 4. Sharp, maybe a 5. You know, I look at this and thinking, okay, I'll go one level less than the public's thinking just to, if I want them. It's not like I'm hunting for those, but if they do drop in my lap, I would definitely consider Thielen and Shark as streaky types. And that's what sometimes, you know, is your deep WRs in best ball there. Chicago Fields are thinking he's all about it. He's going to be one of the top QB1s. He's healed and ready to roll. Worries me the way they're lining up their RBs, though. Herbert's WR3. Johnson is a 4. Foreman is a 4. So it's even though the public thinks Herbert is above the other two, it looks crowded to me. It looks like there's a 3-headed show there. And so Foreman might be the best play if you want to invest in that show. Not sure I do. Komet is a good 2. That's just what he is, and that's how I would have him on my team. DJ Moore, I'm hoping if Fields is at 95, then Moore at 85 should a solid WR2. I'll take him at value. Mooney at 50, you know, WR4-5, yeah. Claypool, that may be a little low. A 7-8, 6-7-8. I might invest in him in best ball late. He may be a play, especially if there's an injury or Mooney doesn't work out. Claypool could return some value there. Public is pretty much giving him away, so I'm not convinced that. I think the price you might have to pay for him, I think you'll get at least value or more. Okay, so that's I'm looking for him. More I'll take if I need, if I'm doing a WR2 and I've already grabbed a solid 1, then yeah, I could take him. I would have no trouble with that. Cincinnati, Burrow turned it on last year. Mixon, I don't know what they're doing. Mixon, I got him as a strong RB2. Could be an RB1 this year. Everybody's always undersells him. I'm liking him. Chase Brown is his handcuff. Okay, I could see taking him as a 5. Irv Smith is a 60. He's a 2-3 type. I'm not reaching for him, but I wouldn't turn him away either as a 2-3. So they're thinking Chase, Higgins, Boyd again, a 3-headed show. And just to let you know, once again, Boyd returned value last year, and as a WR4-5 type, he could give you 3 type value. Chase may be a little expensive, Higgins might be a play. He may be overvalued though. So it could be a 1-2-3 scenario, and that would put Boyd as your bargain, and Higgins is right, and Chase may be a little overvalued compared to, what you might get. So I wouldn't turn down any of those, but I think where I can get them is determining for me. But Boyd I'm looking for as my WR4 type that might give me WR3 value. And I do like Mixon as an up play. I mean, public says 84. he's return value. And I guess especially in redraft, he could be a good RB, zero RB play there if they're gonna let him keep going down the board a little bit. I think that could be very intriguing. So those are the ones that really interest me for any kind of bargain scenario. Cleveland Watson, he's a QB1-2 type. Probably won't draft him as a 1. Maybe take him as a 2 if I'm streaming. Chubb at 95. That seems about value. Jerome Ford at 50. That looks like a good RB5 type handcuff. That could be a 0 RB handcuff type play there. Njoku at 76. That's a TE2. No doubt strong, but I'm not reaching. But I'll take him. Cooper at 88, that seems about right. I'm not seeing any bargain there. Elijah Moore, he's getting a lot of play on Twitter. Somehow him and Watson are getting chemistry. But public says he's a WR4. So I guess, and notice Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's not too far behind Moore. He could be a surprise WR5-6 type that could give you 4 value. So I'm interested more if he stays his price, and Peoples-Jones is a little bit intriguing deep. Okay. Probably in my analysis you see that I'm immediately trying to pick the spots where I think I have an advantage, seeing kind of what the public is saying. In other words, who am I to dispute that Chubb's not an RB1 type? I think he is. But usually it's hard to find value on some of these top plays here. So for me, when I see this kind of stuff, I'm looking for the deeper play in best ball. So I'll probably talk more about that because I assume we all understand that Chubb is an RB1 and Cooper is close to a WR1 type. Okay, I don't think that's a surprise. What I'm trying to do is say, okay, the public is not so big on Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's streaky, more, so that's what gets my attention. Jerome Ford could be a handcuff. So that's what I want to research a little bit when I look at this. In my notes, that's what's hitting me. So if I seem to be kind of going past the obvious, that's because I am, right? If it's obvious, then everybody's on it, right? If everybody knows something, that knowledge is not valuable, right? Only scared secret knowledge is good, right? Missed knowledge is more valuable. Unread books are more valuable than read books, okay? In your library, what you don't know is more valuable than what you know, okay? Because who knows what's there, okay? So that's my overall philosophy of this, okay? Let me do one more and then we'll shut it down. I'm at 23. I know you get tired of hearing my crazy ass. Prescott, there's public says QB2. That could be a little low. I'm not. When he's right, things go well, and he's got CeeDee Lamb. So I would take, if I did not get an elite, I could see picking up Prescott later in the draft and being happy. Everybody's saying Pollard's a 95. He's a strong play RB1 type. Nobody's going to take anything from him. His handcuff, the public says it's Vaughn. I see on Twitter it's Davis. And there's also Jones there. So to me, they may be undervaluing Jones and Davis as handcuff. I don't think if Pollard goes down, I don't think Vaughn controls the whole thing. I think Davis and Jones come up. So if I'm doing 0 RB, I'm thinking Jones Davis could be good RB6, 7 plays that could turn into something. So to me, that intrigues me. Jake Ferguson, TE3 type. Yeah, it's lackluster for me. Prescott loves his tight ends, though. That's the only thing that draws my attention back. The public says no. Public says he's a 2-3. Prescott usage wants to drag that to a solid 2 type. So I haven't decided how to play Ferguson yet. That becomes an unknown for me. I may have a clearer picture. We all may have a clearer picture later. Lamb, everybody's on Lamb. I don't think that's a surprise there. Cooks, I think Cooks could surprise at 70. They're, what is that, a WR 3-4? If I could grab him as my 4, I'd take him. Gallup as my 6, I'd take him. Okay. There's a bunch of other ones. Who knows who survives there. But anyway, that's kind of what it looks like to me. Dallas here, I'm at 26 minutes. We've had enough, me running my mouth. But I hope you get a feel for the rhythm and the play that I approach here using this information. And I'll continue the team by team here. So hang loose. Woo woo, we're having fun.